Yes, people, we have Ras Negus online. How are you doing, sir?
Greetings and blessed love one and all. Give thanks such
Every time.
moment in time.
Yeah. So, for the listeners out there, let the people out there know who is Ras Negus I.
Well, it's I, Ras Negus I.
Yeah.
Limited sky never stop trying. I.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
my Ras Negus I is right now Ras Negus I is that artist, that father, that entrepreneur. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who is doing it right now, and presently we have an album out. And this is the debut album, and just want to advise them the nation know say, you know what I mean, it's our time.
Okay.
And we there do it.
Yeah. So for the listeners, why have you chosen that name to call yourself?
The bamboo, I think the bamboo analogy befits my musical journey.
Okay.
As ones and ones may know, the analogy of the bamboo was in the ground for a very long time.
Yeah.
And it may just see an empty spot, and you're wondering why someone is watering the spot.
Yeah.
And nothing is coming up. But as soon as the bamboo shoot, it is said to be one of the fastest growing plants. So I think that analogy befits my musical journey, as I was always here in the music, but I was never in the music business, but I was always here waiting on my time, patiently.
Yeah. So how did your musical journey begin?
Well, it started from in the womb of my mother,
Yeah.
Because, my mother was always a wailing soul, same way, from a tender age. My mom been a Rasta from she was about 13-year-old.
Okay.
So she was always at the chanting and all these fullness, within the Rastafari movement. You know what I mean? We grew up in the 12th tribe of Israel, where we were always performing from a very, very tender age.
Yeah.
But as I said, I wasn't in music business. I was just in music. Because, as the singer said, music is the rod.
Yeah.
And we are Moses, you know what I mean, according to biblical philosophy.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes, Dan.
So what kind of music do you play for the listeners out there?
Our music is like, the king's music, reggae music is the king's music, Yeah. A positive vibration flowing in the ear, So our music is to liberate and educate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And eradicate the negativity same way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So our music, we just sing music to uplift,
Yeah, man.
And we use it through the genre of reggae music, So give thanks.
Yeah. So who inspires you, either now or when you were younger or continuously?
The inspiration really came from who still is really the environment really inspired I still.
Okay.
And based on what we have seen as even the people still and the unfavorable situation we found ourselves in, I thought it was my duty to really sing about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the initial stage of reggae music, that was what the music was about. To bring to remembrance of self, to remember the nation where we were coming from, you know what I mean? Because we were people who were taken away from Africa.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like we tend to forget based on our situation now.
Yeah,
so the music really talks about really our circumstance and our situations as a people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. So as you mentioned a little bit a minute ago, tell us something about your album. How did it begin? Why you did the album, etc.
Well, as I said, I've been on the musical journey for a very long time,
Yeah.
And coming from Jamaica, I've tried many places during my musical journey,
Yeah, man.
And over time, I've been voicing for a lot of producers.
Okay.
But most of these producers will take the song and they will just stuck it on iTunes or Zodiac or somewhere without no promotion, without no videos, without nothing.
Yeah.
So through Marcus Garvey, the teacher, and self-reliance from time, I took it upon myself and I said, well, these songs, I put them together. You know what I mean? Because even have songs on this album which I've written since I was even a teenager.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I come now and just put everything together and formulate a unit of songs, so one could just sit down and listen and really be inspired by this musical vibration which have been put under the bushel. You know what I mean? Because the fire can't stay under the bushel for too long.
Yeah, man.
So now it's blazing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, how many songs are on this album?
Well, it's a 19-track album, including the interlude.
Okay.
And I did 19 track because it has been so long in our waiting.
Yeah.
Because even most of my school friends say, well, it's been so long, they thought I've given up on this music because they weren't hearing nothing from them brother. You know what I mean? So I thought I would just put 19 tracks so I could just fulfill that gap for the years which they haven't been hearing me, you know what I mean?
For real. So when you're doing your music, how do you go about doing it? Do you write it down, freestyle it? How do you go about preparing for a track?
Well, as I know, even as a man will chat through the Bobo Shanti order, the Honorable Marcus Garvey showing us the pen is more powerful,
Yeah.
Mightier than the sword, So the man said more time you catch a meditation, it's best to write it down,
Yeah.
So I always believe in writing. You know what I mean? Not to say we can't freestyle it, but when you write it, it's composed in a more structural format.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a head tap thing, but it's something that is more structured. So me really believe in the pen and the paper still. So yes, I'll go about writing my music still after the inspiration come,
Yeah, man, for real. So you being an artist, what would you say to other young artists who want to get involved in music?
Young artists who want to get involved in music, first of all, they have to try and understand what they're getting into.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons why I've left it for so long, because I understand what music business is about. And Ras Negus I never really want to change to suit men and people. Because I really want to grow my beard and I'm not going to really clip it up for a guy. Because in some image have to look a certain way. And you know what I mean, me's a man wear a turban in the Bobo Shanti order.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take it off to please a men. Or, you know what I mean? So I want to know what them getting into, because sometimes, even as a Rasta man, we know the music is entertainment as well. But at the same time, we are Rasta man first.
Yeah.
So we don't really want to really, put away the liberty just to please a one for a bread and butter same way. So I would tell a youth who's just coming to music to do the homework thoroughly.
Yeah.
Because music can take a lot and require a lot. So you have to know that you're not doing music alone. Try to do something else to balance. You know what I mean? Especially economics.
For real.
Give thanks.
So on social media and those sort of things, I see that you're doing a lot of juicing.
Yes.
Is that something else that you're into?
Well, it's musically juicing, because, many ones and ones may know that I am the son of the great Harry Joseph, the legend.
Yeah.
Harry Joseph, the man that used to feed Bob Marley. Yeah. When Bob Marley was in the process of making all those superstars in the likeness of Junior Gang, Ziggy Marley and all those things. It was my father Juice, the Irishman, and the Roots and the Magnum.
Yeah.
My old man used to make a lot of juice for Bob Marley.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So juicing is something that I do greatly. Same way, you know what I mean? So we run a juice bar presently in Birmingham.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Harry Joseph Healing Stream Juice Bar.
Yeah, man.
It's in Whitney Road, 415 Whitney Road, Aston, Birmingham,
Yeah, man.
So we're always juicing, musically juicing.
Okay. So do you do that when you're, singing and things like that as well? What's the process?
Yes, I always juicing, because I can tell that this fullness. Even at there was a time when I was on a tour with Morgan Heritage.
Yeah.
And I was on this bus with my igloo.
Okay.
And filled with juices, and Morgan Heritage start. I was just on the bus as the juice man, not knowing that I was opening all the shows for them, the whole 7 shows.
Okay.
So it's like the last show that we did in Milton Keys, they realized that I was the opening act for the shows, you know what I mean, the duration of the tour.
Yeah.
So I never left the juices, More time I'm going on the stage and a man will be joking around, Ras, not the juice. So the juice will never leave it still in our part of it, when I say Negus, Ras Negus I, Harry Joseph, one and the same.
Yeah, man, for real. So, with your music, do you have any events coming up, anything that the people can look forward and say, yeah, man, I'm going to go see Ras Negus I?
Well, everything is in the making, because really and truly we just put out the album, the Bamboo album.
Yeah. Which
is now on every digital platform.
Okay.
So ones and ones can check out that as well, Ras Negus I, Bamboo album. You know what I mean? iTunes, Google Play, and the rest. But we are now in the initial planning stage of a festival in Ghana,
okay,
which will be in August.
Yeah, man.
So we're just preparing things at the moment. So really and truly, the promoters them never really are giving a look in because them says like me not take music serious because them say me are the juice man.
Okay.
So them don't know if me serious about music or when me really I do. So no matter even when me go to the event them and me turn it up and I come away with the biggest forward or whatever, they may still not get no call. But I know in time to come it's a self-reliance thing with I and I.
Yeah,
so really and truly we don't really wait for event, we create events.
Yeah, man.
You know, so we'll be creating some events in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes,
well, on talking of events, you know, I thought you did really well. I really enjoyed your set at Return to Your Roots Festival in Birmingham.
Well, give thanks.
Yeah,
give
man.
thanks. That's the energy.
Yeah, for real. The crowd was loving your vibes, everything like that. So I hope that promoters do promote you and, you know, big you up a bit more.
Insane.
Yeah, man.
Well, as I said, the musical journey continues, and Ras Negus I have been doing that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I never sail on a stage. Never. I cannot remember sailing on a stage, no matter how big nor how small.
Yeah.
Ras Negus I always deliver.
Yeah, man.
So, me always know the nation art, even though me may not be on the chart.
For real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So give thanks.
So, for the listeners out there, would you be up for doing a little something from your album for them to hear?
Yeah, man, you know, we always want to bless the nation same way.
Yeah, man.
There's so much meditation on the album. But there's this track that dear to my heart. It's called Motherless Children.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll just give them Sleeping on the pavements, what a situation. Politicians not do nothing for my nation. Prime Ministers, what is the solution? Take the high price of education. Them design the calamity, holding us down like gravity. You Mr. Big Man and nice society. Free up the food, the youth them hungry. Motherless children, fatherless children, living in hell. This are no heaven. Motherless children, fatherless children, living in hell. Amen.
For real. So,
yeah, man, that's one of the tracks on the album still, you know, give thanks.
Yeah, man.
Motherless children.
Yeah, man, for real. So, we're coming to the last few seconds of the interview. Is there any final thoughts, any final feelings you want to say to the people out there listening right now?
Well, you know, the high priest always show and I say, and I must close with several words that, you know, love, you know, man, so Jah is love, so let us all love, you know. So ones and ones have to find back love and find back that forgiveness spirit, you know. Because sometimes my brother and sister may air it up and you feel like you want to hold a grudge and carry a vibe. Release yourself, you know what I mean? And live in love because love is lovely and war is ugly.
Yeah,
so for these few words, I do give thanks.
Yeah, man, every time. I just want to say thank you to you for taking the time to talk to me on my show. I really do appreciate it.
More love, because the Irish must look like it's out for boil over. So give thanks.
Yeah, man, every time.
Yeah. Love, give thanks.
Right, give thanks. Speak soon, yeah?
Alright, love in there.
Yeah, man, bless up. So you heard it here first, people. Make sure you go and check out Ras Negus' album, Bamboo. Okay, we're going to play a track for you now from the album. Okay, also, if you like the vibes, make sure you link him up on different social medias as well. Okay, this one is called Authentic. Okay, so make sure you check it out. It's called Amharic over English. Here we go.
Over English, real like you, tell me no British, go tell them.